Before time began, before the stars filled the heavens, God thought of you. You weren't an afterthought, and your existence isn't an accident. God envisioned your life, your smile, your laugh, and even your quirks. He made you with purpose, uniquely crafted with love. He formed you not just to live, but to walk with Him in closeness, joy, and relationship. But sometimes, life happens. You get busy, distracted, or even hurt. Pain builds walls. Disappointments whisper lies that God is distant or uninterested. Maybe you've drifted without realizing it, or maybe you're carrying guilt that keeps you from looking in His direction. Whatever it is, there's a silence between you and God now. And in that silence, you might feel like He's forgotten you. But let me tell you the truth. God hasn't forgotten you. He misses you. The God who created the galaxies misses hearing your voice. The one who shaped mountains aches for your attention. The one who painted sunsets and designed every detail of your life longs for you to turn to Him again. He's not angry or impatient. He's waiting, patiently, lovingly, longing for the moment you'll come back to Him. Do you remember the story of the prodigal son? Jesus told that story to show us exactly how God feels about us. The son took his inheritance, left home, and wasted it all on reckless living. He hit rock bottom, alone and desperate, working among pigs and dreaming of the food they ate. That's when he thought of his father. He believed he wasn't worthy of being a son anymore, but hoped to return as a servant. But what did the father do? He didn't wait for his son to grovel or explain himself. He didn't stand at the door with crossed arms, demanding an apology. No, the father ran. He ran to his son, embraced him, kissed him, and celebrated his return. That's how God feels about you. He doesn't need you to come back perfect. He doesn't want you to fix everything before you approach Him. He just wants you. Right now, as you are, He's waiting with open arms, ready to run to you the moment you take a step toward Him. Every time you've felt alone, He's been there. Every tear you've cried, He's seen. Every whisper of doubt, every question of God, are you still there? He's answered with, yes, I've never left. He's seen your struggles, your heartbreak, and the silence that settled in your heart. And still, He loves you. Maybe you think the distance between you and God is too great. Maybe you feel like you've been gone too long or made too many mistakes to return. But let me remind you of this truth. There's no distance too great for His love to reach. Psalm 139 says, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there." No matter where you are, God is with you. The thing is, God doesn't miss the perfect version of you. He misses you, the real you, the you who's full of doubts, fears, and imperfections. He misses the moments when you trusted Him without hesitation, the times when you shared your heart with Him and found comfort in His presence. He misses your laughter, your prayers, and your dependence on Him. Let's look at the story of Peter, one of Jesus' closest disciples, because it beautifully illustrates how God welcomes us back, no matter how far we feel we've wandered. Peter was one of the 12 who walked with Jesus daily. He saw the miracles, heard the teachings, and even boldly declared that Jesus was the Messiah, the Son of God. Peter had incredible faith, even stepping out of a boat to walk on water toward Jesus. all of us, Peter had his moments of weakness. The night before Jesus was crucified, Peter confidently told Jesus that he would never leave him, even if everyone else did. He declared, "Even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you." But Jesus, knowing Peter's heart, told him that before the rooster crowed, Peter would deny him 3 times. And that's exactly what happened. When Jesus was arrested, Peter followed from a distance, watching as the events unfolded. 3 times people recognized Peter and accused him of being one of Jesus' followers. Out of fear for his life, Peter denied knowing Jesus each time. The 3rd denial was emphatic. He even swore, saying, "I don't know the man." Then the rooster crowed. In that moment, Peter realized what he had done, and the weight of his actions crushed him. The Bible says he went outside and wept bitterly. Can you imagine how Peter felt? The shame, the guilt, the overwhelming sense of failure. He had promised Jesus his loyalty and then turned his back on him in his darkest hour. Peter must have felt like he had ruined everything, like there was no coming back from this. But here's where the story takes a beautiful turn. After Jesus' resurrection, he appeared to his disciples multiple times, but one encounter was deeply personal for Peter. In John 21, we see Jesus meeting his disciples by the Sea of Galilee. After a miraculous catch of fish, just like the miracle that had first called Peter to follow him, Jesus prepared breakfast for them on the shore. And then came the moment of restoration. Jesus turned to Peter and asked, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" Peter replied, "Yes, Lord. You know that I love you." Jesus asked Peter the same question 2 more times, and each time Peter affirmed his love. It was no coincidence that Jesus asked 3 times, once for each denial. Jesus wasn't condemning Peter. He was restoring him, reaffirming his calling, and reminding him that his failure didn't disqualify him from God's love or purpose. This story shows us something profound. God doesn't abandon us when we fail. He doesn't hold our mistakes against us or leave us in our guilt. Instead, he comes to us with love and grace, offering restoration and a fresh start. So if you feel distant, if you feel like you've wandered too far, know this: God misses you. He's been waiting for you, not with judgment, but with open arms. The love he has for you hasn't dimmed or faded. It's as strong as it was the day he formed you in your mother's womb. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. You are his beloved child. Take a step toward him today. Whisper a prayer, open your heart, and let him in. Because the God who created the stars, the oceans, and the mountains is waiting to welcome you home. And when you do, all of heaven will rejoice, because you, his beloved, are back where you belong.